Hey, it's Pete Thorn. Welcome to my home studio and welcome to my demo of the Singular Sound BeatBuddy. You heard it doing all the drums on that track at the beginning of the video. This is essentially a super high quality, really great sounding drum machine in pedal format. Think of it as a performance drum machine. Because it's in pedal format, they've enabled the pedal to be able to do things like add fills and change between different groove variations and things like that. So the uses for this thing are plentiful and probably pretty obvious. I mean, it's great for practice, great for writing songs too. You could use it in a performance situation if maybe you're a duo, you know, two acoustic guitars, a guitar and bass, or keys or something, and you want to add some drums to your performances. This would be a great way to do it. So I just had it plugged stereo out right into my recording interface. And essentially what I did is I called up one of the songs. There's a whole bunch of different songs and grooves in a whole bunch of different styles in this thing. And I found one I liked. It was the Punk 2 groove. And at 169 BPM, I just kind of wrote a track to that included groove. Now, I was actually switching up grooves. I had it on the desk, obviously, for the demo, because normally you'd have it on the floor, but because I wanted to show you guys, make it really obvious what I was doing in that track at the beginning of the video, I just set it up on the desk. So what happens with the foot switch here is when you call up the song, let's say the Punk 2 groove, you push the button once, you're going to get a intro fill, and then the groove's going to start. If you tap the button one more time, you're going to get a fill. You can tap it as many times as you want and you'll get some variations on those fills. And then if you hold down the switch just for a second, it's going to transition to a new section. So you heard it do that when I went to kind of the guitar solo section in the song. I transitioned to that other section. Then if you hold it down again, you'll transition back to the first groove. And if you tap it twice quickly, you're going to end. And so it's really, really easy to use, super intuitive. I got up and running on this thing with no manual or anything like that within just minutes. The included sounds that you heard on that track at the beginning of the video, I mean, I didn't do anything to that. It's basically just running stereo out right into my interface, and the drum samples are super high quality and sound really good to me. So there's also a foot switch that you can get, this guy right here. This can be used to do some things like hold. So let's say maybe you want to drop out the drums for a second if you're maybe jamming live and you want the groove to drop out and then restart again. You can use it for that. And you can also use one of the other foot switches to advance between different songs. So, you know, maybe you've got a set strung together with different grooves and songs, and you could use this to go through your whole set. Alternately, with the new firmware update, you can also use this to do the same functions as the foot switch on the BeatBuddy itself. So that's because of customer requests. Some people were saying they'd like to have this set up on a desk or in front of them, but then be still controlling it with their feet if possible. So they've enabled this foot switch to now be able to do that if you decide to get this as an option. So all the drum samples as well as grooves are loaded via SD card. The unit comes with an SD card. You just pop it into the SD card slot right here in the end of the unit. There's also a USB port here, so you hook it up to your computer via USB, and you can do firmware updates and stuff like that way. But there's also an application that you can get, a computer program you can run on PC or Mac. It's called the BeatBuddy Manager, and you're going to be able to do some really cool things with that. Number one, if you want to use some of your own drum samples, if you've got like wave drum samples and you'd like to build your own kit, you can do that and put your own drum sounds in the BeatBuddy. I think that's really cool. In addition to that, you can also use the Manager with general MIDI files. You can string together your own parts. So if you got some specific drum parts and grooves that you want to load into the BeatBuddy, you can do that. There's also a forum on the Singular Sound website that allows you to upload content, download content, grooves and things like that, and share stuff with other users. Okay, let's check out the basic operation for the BeatBuddy. Push once, you get an intro drum fill, and part one starts. Tap the foot switch again, you get a fill. Now every time you tap it, you'll get an alternate fill. Now to transition to the next part of the song, hold the switch briefly. Feels like about the right time for another fill. And let's hear one more fill, why not? One more time. Now to transition back to part one of the song, you just hold the switch briefly again. When you decide it's time for the song to end, a quick double tap of the switch will give you an outro fill and the song will end. Now I want to show you another musical example using the optional external foot switch to add accents and breakdowns to create an exciting on-the-fly drum performance.
There's a couple different ways to adjust tempo on the BeatBuddy. You can use the knob that's furthest to the right, that's the tempo control, or you can also hook up the optional foot switch and tap in the tempo. When you load a groove or part, it'll load a default drum kit for each part. This is the rock kit that loads up when you call up the punk grooves. Let's try a couple of the different alternative drum kits. This is now the standard drum kit. It's not quite as aggressive sounding, it's a little bit less roomy. I'm now loading up the metal drum kit. Let's hear something completely different now. This is the techno drum kit. That was Techno Groove 1. Let's load up a different groove. I'm going to switch easily and quickly to Techno 2. And here's the beatbox kit, completely different. There's some really cool complex grooves as well, world music stuff, odd meter stuff, pretty sophisticated. This is a kit that features brushes on the snare as well. It sounds really good to me. And if you just need a good old-fashioned metronome, the BeatBuddy can do that too.
Thanks for watching my video on the Singular Sound BeatBuddy, super cool drum machine in pedal format. I should just mention, there's a couple different ways that you can plug this in. For this video, I had the outputs running directly right into my recording interface, and it would be akin to sort of using it maybe right into a hi-fi or PA system or something like that, and then I had my guitar running separately. But if you want to plug this into a guitar amp, you can do that. You would just put this on your pedal board as the last pedal in your chain. You're going to plug all your guitar pedals and your guitar into this, and it's going to pass that signal through to your amplifier unaffected by the BeatBuddy, and then it's also going to pass the drum sounds out the output. Ideally, to me, it would seem like the best way to use this thing to take full advantage of the great drum sounds would be to plug it into a full range system and have your guitar running separately, but it's totally made to be able to plug into a guitar amp as well. Just depends how you want to use it. Okay, you can check it out further at the website you see there on your screen. And please hit subscribe if you haven't. Come back and see me for more videos real soon. I am Pete Thorn. Take care.